The ocean is so vast and beautiful. However, looks can be deceiving. There are many problems lurking in those waters. Harmful algal blooms, or red tides, occur on the coastline. This is when colonies of algae, or simple plants that live in the sea and freshwater, such as protozoans and unicellular algae, grow out of control, producing toxins or harmful effects on people and fish. These blooms can occur worldwide. Natural cycles can vary regionally. When red tide blooms form, they often appear as discolored patches of water, often reddish in color, as the name would suggest. Major factors influencing red tide events include warm ocean surface temperatures, low salinity, high nutrient content, calm seas, and rain followed by sunny days during the summer months. In addition, algae related to red tide can spread or be carried long distances by wind, currents, storms, or ships. Red tides occur throughout the world, and scientists first documented a red tide along Florida's Gulf Coast in fall of 1947, when residents of Venice, Florida reported thousands of dead fish and a stinging gas in the air, according to Marine Laboratory. Brevetoxin PBTX is produced by red tides. These neurotoxins bind to the voltage-gated sodium channels in nerve cells, leading to the disruption of normal neurological processes and neurotoxic shellfish poisoning. Anecdotal evidence suggests that people who swim among brevetoxins or inhale brevetoxins dispersed in the air may experience irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat, as well as coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. Additional evidence suggests that people with existing respiratory illnesses, such as asthma, may experience these symptoms more severely.
This is Melinda Longoria. She has personally dealt with the negative effects of red tide. Can you please tell us your story?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm an asthmatic, but at the time, I had not had an asthma attack in over 20 years. I was a runner, and I would go out to a place called Sunset Lake Park to do some running. I had just finished a mile and was doing a turnaround to go back, and at that time, I immediately started having trouble breathing. There was a wind or a breeze that was coming off of the coast there, and once it hit me, it was something I had never experienced before. And I started having like a constriction in my lungs, and I was still able to jog at the time, but the more I went, the more the breeze would hit me in the face and the less I could breathe. By the time I got about a 3/4 way down on this, I was not able to breathe hardly at all, and I was trying to motion for my family to let them know that I needed help. I didn't think I would make it the whole way back. So eventually my husband saw that I did need help, and he came out and he got me and took me home and got me to my rescue inhaler, which I hadn't had to use in many, many years. And so I used my rescue inhaler at home, but it helped, but it didn't take care of the problem. The next morning, I probably honestly should have gone to the hospital that night, but I talked my husband into just taking me to the doctor the next morning. The next morning when I went into the doctor's office, I had to take 2 nebulizer treatments and got shots, got steroids, got medications, and was sent home with a nebulizer at that time just because of the problems I was having with my lungs. I had heard about red tide. I had seen dead fish when we would go around the coast or go walking on the beach, and it was I guess red tide season. But this experience that I had was no joke. It was once it hit me, it just took my lung capacity away, and it was really, really hard to breathe. And that being an asthmatic, I'm not sure what it would be like on somebody with normal lungs. But I don't think that someone who has asthma needs to be out around red tide. And that was my experience with it. No fun.
Thank you very much.
Brevetoxins' interactions with fish nerve cells cause paralysis and the lack of gill function, causing death. Sea turtles are also affected, becoming confused and displaying apparent behaviors such as head bobbing, twitching, swimming in circles, and extreme listlessness. These effects can decrease the turtle's ability to evade predators. Paralysis can also occur, causing the inability for the turtles to raise their neck or to breathe, ultimately leading to their death. Harmful algal blooms are spreading along the Texas Gulf Coast, killing millions of fish and washing up the remains on the shores. The fishing industry loses around $18 million annually due to brevetoxin exposure and the resulting fish kills. This issue of the release of brevetoxin isn't affecting just one target group, but multiple groups such as fish, turtles, other marine life, as well as humans. Decreasing the amount of nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus that flow into our waters can make a big impact on preventing the amount of harmful algal blooms. We can do this by using the recommended amount of fertilizers on yards and maintaining septic systems to prevent wastewater from leaking and seeping into nearby water and drainage systems. Scientists are studying potential biological mitigators of harmful algal blooms. Those being considered are bacteria, cyanophage, fish species, zooplankton, fungi, and algae. Of those, bacteria is the best option, as it reproduces quickly and efficiently, can target different diversities of harmful algae, capable of targeting specific species or genera of harmful algae, and it's environmentally friendly. Harmful algal blooms threaten many walks of life. It's important to do your part to prevent these blooms. Your efforts can save animal lives and can improve the quality of your own life and those around you.